We are the Louisiana Partnership for Children and Families. We are the only statewide organization that connects all of the other statewide child-serving organizations in the state to advocate for better policy for children. We really believe that true better improvement for the lives of children starts with better policy here in the state of Louisiana. Today is Children's Day at the Capitol, so all of our member organizations and our partner organizations are joined here with us today to celebrate what we do for children, to talk about what we do for children, and today we're giving out binders to each legislator so that they know about the children in their district. How are those children doing? How many are living in poverty? How many are hungry? How many are in need of foster care in the state and those sort of things? So they'll get a whole binder with that information so they'll be familiar with how children are doing in the state of Louisiana. We are really pushing what we call Every Baby, so hashtag Every Baby is our campaign, and we really want everyone to get together and think about all of the things that it takes for a baby in Louisiana to grow into a thriving adult in Louisiana. So that's our push. We have several policies that we're really focusing on. One of our bills that's in the governor's package is the workplace protections for pregnant women, so it'll give them added protections that'll help enhance their health while they're pregnant and working. We are working on child hunger. We are taking a look at student meal denial in the public school system in K through 12 and seeing what we can do to help alleviate that. And then we're also really focused on literacy this session and really focused on right now 74% of third graders do not read on grade level.
I would like to see for there to be continued increased focus in helping to raise awareness. I would also like to see more focus in terms of laws that are created and enacted for purposes of bringing attention to help prevent, eliminate abuse and neglect in Louisiana.
We are always interested in making sure that foster children are taken care of, either whether they're in the system or once they age out of the system. It is the mission of the Trust Fund, just to segue, that we are working to prevent child abuse and neglect in any form. And so we want to make sure that that the legislators are focused on children and families, building better children and families, providing more resources to children and families so that we can build a stronger, better Louisiana.
Good morning and welcome everyone to Children's Day at the Capitol. I am so thrilled that all of you are here with us today. This is a fantastic event, and this is really the culmination of something that we've been working on for months to get information to our legislators about the children and families throughout Louisiana. So I want to start my talk by mentioning the most important thing that is happening in Louisiana in March, and it is not the legislative session. It is the census, okay? Census cards will be mailed out March 12th through the 20th, and they're not sending out paper census forms this year. So it's really, really important that folks get the message out that they're not going to get a census form in the mail. They're just going to get a little card with a code on it. That means they either have to go online or call and do their census. It's a much different process this year than it's ever been. So we're really asking everyone here today to just be talking about it, be tweeting about it, be Facebooking about it. If your organization has a lot of foot traffic, set up a computer in your organization so that people can come and do the census and fill out their card. The other thing we're telling people is to take pictures of their card when it comes in the mail, because the actual census site online, we understand, is not going to go live until March 23rd. And if they get their card on March 13th, they might not be able to find it on March 23rd. So we're telling people as soon as they get it in, take a picture so that they have that picture so that they don't have to worry about finding that card. But listen, $2,291 per person per year for the next 10 years is what is at stake for every person that goes uncounted in the state of Louisiana. $2,291 per person per year for the next 10 years. 2010 census failed to count almost 1 million children. So everyone, if you have children's organizations, we have to focus on the babies and the children and all of the mixed families and children in foster care and all of those children. So the most important thing this month is not St. Patrick's Day, it's not the legislative session, it is the census. So make sure that we're focused. Okay, so I'm so pleased to be here today. We have so many great people here. I want to show you guys, this is one of the finished binders, and I hope Regina Barrow comes up here because I have her binder. We distribute these to each legislator today, and it has actual information specific to their district in the binder about the children and families in their district, the programs that serve them, how many are in poverty, how many kids are hungry, how many people benefit from the EITC, how many families are getting SNAP, is in this binder. So they can just look at it, and it's got little tabs. They can just pull to the tab. We've got great information on whole child well-being, where we're looking at mental health and early childhood mental health, and also AAP did a great package for us on a whole wealth of children's issues. We're looking at literacy. 74% of Louisiana's fourth graders are not reading on grade level. And so it's a step-by-step look at what we can do to change that in Louisiana. In child hunger, we're talking about SNAP families, how many SNAP families there are and what that means for children and families. And then also 219 students last year were denied meals. Children as young as 5, because they had an outstanding lunch balance. So we're going to have another conversation this year about denying students meals while they're in school. Great information from the Policy Institute and Ready Louisiana focused on early care and education and the requests to improve funds for early care. There's a lot of great information in here, and also some information about after-school programs, because a lot of people, early care gets a lot of focus, but people don't realize that after school is also a lifeline for parents who work. So there's some great information there. And then, of course, we go through some DCFS and vulnerable children information. We have so many children in care in this state, and I think it's really important that legislators understand that each of their districts is impacted by those children who are in care. We have some great information on children with disabilities in this book and what we're doing to help improve their waiver services. And then finally, we really talk about family economic stability. And Charmaine Cassiope is here from the United Way of Southeast Louisiana. Sarah Berthelot helped us from the Association of United Ways. We are talking about ALICE. Every legislator should know who ALICE is. Does everyone in this room know who ALICE is? Okay, great. We want every legislator to know ALICE and know what they need to do to help ALICE, because that will truly change the lives for children and families in Louisiana. So I'd like to recognize all of our folks here today, but before I go any further, I want to recognize Katina Simeon, who's here from the Louisiana Children's Trust Fund, and she's going to introduce the chairman of the trust fund and talk about their work.
If I only had half the energy that Ms. Nelson has. Hey, y'all. I am honored to be here today. I am Katina Simeon, the Executive Director of the Louisiana Children's Trust Fund. The Louisiana Children's Trust Fund has operated in Louisiana for more than 35 years. We have one mission and one mission only, and that is to work to prevent child abuse and neglect among Louisiana's children and families by building strong collaborative partners. If you are an agency or organization that receives funding for a program from the Louisiana Children's Trust Fund, please stand and be recognized at this time. Good job. Thank you, guys. For everyone in the room, just to share that we give more than $800,000 a year to agencies to fund programs whose primary mission is to provide resources for families so that we have less abuse and neglect. The key goal is prevention. We want to reach a family before they are in crisis. We want to provide the resources that they need so it is less likely that children will suffer any abuse and neglect at the hands of their parents or others. I share all the time that it's a sad thing that we're required to have an agency that does this type of work. Child abuse and neglect is a completely preventable epidemic, period. And so we're honored that the governor recognizes this important work and that he puts family and children first, along with the First Lady. And so I'm honored to serve under this governor. If you all would indulge me for one moment, I'd like to introduce to you and ask that she come up and say a few words. It is the chairman of the board for the Louisiana Children's Trust Fund, Attorney Francesca Hamilton Aker.
Thank you, Katina. And hello to everyone. I'd like to talk with you a little bit more in depth about the Louisiana Children's Trust Fund. Everything that Katina shared with you is so spot on, and we couldn't be more happy to be partnered with so many stakeholders who invest in the same mission that we all do. It's important to raise awareness about abuse, preventing abuse and neglect, not only in our immediate lives or immediate situations for people that we know, but beyond that, so that we can help to move the needle forward in the state of Louisiana. The Children's Trust Fund is pleased to help lead the charge to help prevent child abuse and neglect in the state of Louisiana. The safety and well-being of children and supporting families remains a pressing concern in the state of Louisiana. It is through the partnerships such as the collaboration on today, the many stakeholders who work to prevent abuse every day coming together in unity to promote and celebrate this very important cause that helps to move us all forward in helping to eliminate abuse and neglect. The Louisiana Children's Trust Fund continues to be very busy. The 2020 state plan will be released soon, and it will focus on mapping out strategies to continue to achieve good outcomes for Louisiana children and families. The plan is a comprehensive plan that captures relevant issues and works towards reaching our common goal. The content includes considerations from valuable input provided by Louisiana community partners, leaders, and citizens. This input was gathered from regional meetings held throughout the state of Louisiana to capture essential information that included identifying geographic specific issues and sets out a plan that addresses these issues. We believe that the state plan is a solid plan that will help to shape the work towards prevention efforts in the state for the next few years to better increase the outcomes for protecting children and families in our state. The Children's Trust Fund is also working on a new campaign that will help to raise awareness about parents being cautious about who they leave their children with. We will also continue our efforts with the campaign to look before you lock. It is very important that the work to protect children and strengthen families continue and that collaborations continue to grow to help to continue this work and conquer abuse and neglect. As I'm sure we can all agree, protecting the children of Louisiana from abuse and neglect and supporting families is not negotiable. Thank you for being here today, and we appreciate all of your good work.
And if I can just give a quick shout out to the executive assistant who keeps the office running, truly the wind beneath my wings, Miss Michelle Rabelais, who is here in the front today. Thank you so much for the time.
We are so thrilled to have so many of our partners today. So if you are a member of the Louisiana Partnership for Children or you helped put information into our binder, can you stand? So Charmaine, Jennifer Children, Volunteers of America, Nurse Family Partnership, Child Care Association, and school-based health care centers with us. The Power Coalition, who's a huge sponsor, Jan Mueller with the Budget Project, of course, the governor's office, with whom we could not be in this space, and we could not be here with a governor who doesn't think so much about children and families so often. We started our Every Baby campaign this year, and our vision, and I really feel like this governor is the one who can do this for us, is to have all of the people who do policy in Louisiana put in a room, regardless of what they work on, whether it's transportation, whether it's workforce development, whether it's economic development, and talk about what they can do to improve the lives of children. What does every baby need from the moment it comes into this world to reach a thriving adulthood? And so, you know, we were so proud that the governor mentioned during his inaugural address that every hour that a person spends in traffic is an hour that they're not spending with their children. So we need to think about those things throughout our work. Economic development. We have so many women who are running small businesses as childcare centers. They need the economic development that we give to large companies, because when large companies come here and they bring employees, they have children. They have to have a place for these children. So, we need to start looking at it through that lens. So we want every person in the state of Louisiana who handles any kind of policy to look at it through a lens of what is it going to do to improve the lives of every baby in Louisiana. So today you guys got the Every Baby pin. We are trying to crown Louisiana's babies with everything that they need to thrive in this state. So I know lunch is here and it's getting to the lunch hour. So I won't go much further, but I do want to just thank everyone who's here. I want to recognize, of course, our folks from the governor's office who supported us, and Amanda Brunson, who's working on women's policy, who is helping us lead the charge for workplace protections for pregnant women this session. And I also want to recognize one of my board members, Katie Bernhardt, who serves on the board for the Louisiana Partnership, who joined us today to be here for this great event. So thank you, everyone. Lunch is here. Have something to eat. Make sure you get a pen. Have some time downstairs. And hopefully the legislators will see their binders on their desks when they come in this afternoon.
Participation in the 2020 census is very important because, again, it affects federal funding that comes to the state and to the local parishes and the cities. And so, again, that funding follows the responses when people participate. So it's very important.
And how does that impact the role of children in Louisiana?
So again, those dollars, when you're talking about healthcare, when you're talking about education, Title I grants, even when you're talking about infrastructure and roads, all those things help everyone in Louisiana, especially our children. And so when we're talking about Medicaid and the resources that a lot of people in our community need, those response rates help those individuals, especially our children.
Oh, it's so great to have all of our partners here and all of our partnering organizations here. There's so much being done on behalf of children and families in the state, and we're so excited that we can bring everyone together to celebrate it.
How can people get more information?
You can go to our website, www.louisianapartnership.org, and all of our stuff is on our website.